Hello, this is Tim, and I'm sending you a message to ldntv. I was asked to speak about my experience of lockdown. What's extraordinary is this is an experience which I'm sharing with everybody else, whereas when I was on the circle, I felt, it was a sort of unique experience. Am I in a better place to know what it's like and how to deal with this? Well, no. I think everybody is now an expert on how to deal with self-isolation, with seclusion. But how have I been doing it? Because oddly, in one sense, I don't feel particularly isolated. And I try very hard to do two things. Number one, to live in the moment. So try not to think too much about what you're going to be doing in the next week. Try to think about what you're doing now and make that count. And number two, I try every day to do something creative. Maybe that's making a video, maybe it's writing something, maybe it's reading something. I really enjoy thinking that it's possible to do two things at once or three things at once. Often when I'm drawing, I listen to audiobooks. I've become a great audiobook fan. I've gone through the whole of the Hilary Mantel trilogy about Cromwell, which is gory and delightful and charming and actually so much easier to listen to than it was to attempt to read. I've also gone through a little bit of Dickens, which again is supremely designed for listening to. I think Jane Austen, in contrast, is not very good as a talking book, but Dickens definitely. Thomas Hardy, I must confess, is a bit of a slog. Hilary Mantel, tremendously, and quite a lot of detective fiction works incredibly well. It sort of keeps me going. Also, I do a lot of animation. I was introduced to animation when I was very young, when I was about 11 years old, and it's something that has taught me patience. And so I'll stick up a little bit of what I'm doing here. So when you try and do technical, traditional animation, you're really having to think very hard. At those points, incidentally, I switch off the audiobooks, I switch off any music, because I think, really, I have to admit, I can't do two things at once at that point. I really have to focus on just one thing. What else have I been doing? Well, this morning, oddly, I tried some cooking, which was a disaster. I cooked on camera. I did a little bit of singing while I was doing it, which was perhaps slightly more successful. But my cooking was a disaster, and a disaster which everybody can enjoy later on, I'm sure, I hope. And I'm going to do more of that tomorrow. So I'm not going to let disaster get in the way of good entertainment. And I will continue doing these things that I know I do badly. I thought if lockdown is going to continue for much longer, which it is, I'm going to try and make use of the parquet floor that we've got in the hall and learn finally how to tap dance instead of just bluffing my way with the hands and just sort of windmills and all these other things. I'm going to try and learn how to do it, but it is difficult to teach yourself how to tap dance. The other thing I want to try and do is sort out my singing and maybe get back to playing the piano, but I think that's probably expecting too much. However, we just don't know when this is going to finish. When we were in the circle, we knew that after a month, and actually as we got towards the end of that time, I began to get a little bit of cabin fever. I was itching to get out. But now we don't know. We're going to have this graded move back into real life, but we really don't know how long that's going to take and where in that grade we're going to find ourselves. I fancy it's still a good idea to have long-term projects that you can get on with on your own, if at all possible. The other thing I find immensely attractive is being able to contact other people when I can, which was something I couldn't do in the circle. So best wishes to all of you watching on this program? Is it a program? Is it a channel? What is it? I have no idea what you call these things. I have one too, you know. I really ought to know. I ought to have these things at my beck and call, and I don't. I am such a plonker, really. I don't know. I don't seem to have the mind for all of this. Anyway, look, off you go. Off you go. And look, thank you for looking at me, and do support ldntv, and have lots of fun, and make sure make sure you look at all those people who during lockdown are doing things for charities and doing things to promote well-being, because it's so important that not only are we occupied physically and occupied with things to do, but also that we make sure our mind is functioning and that we are in a stable place, and that we look after those people who are wobbling a little bit, and equally that we make sure that we are as supportive as possible for those people who are on the front line. Not only the nurses and doctors, but also people who I think sometimes get a little overlooked, the people in the shops. I'm always so excited when I go to my local supermarket, and the person who is manning the door gives me the most enormous grin and says hello, even if I'm second or third in the queue. I know his hello is for me, at least I assume so. Maybe I just say hello to anyone who says, maybe I'm just a sucker for people who say hello to me.